Hello everyone and welcome to a World of Tanks replay. My name is Epsilon and today I'm playing in the E50M. Definitely one of my favourite tier 10 medium tanks. Just because I guess it's just so versatile. Despite the fact that it hasn't really been buffed since, well, I guess it did receive a gun depression buff of 2 degrees to its front in patch 9.17.1 I believe it was. But apart from that I don't think it's received any buffs for literally years. Despite that, it seems to consistently put out in every sort of meta it's been in. Just because of the well-rounded nature of the tank, I guess. So today I'm playing on the Karelia map. Just a standard battle. And we're definitely going to push the 0 line since I don't like being too out in the open on A1. And they seem to have a superior medium tank force anyway, so I foresee getting caught out if I were to go there. I'm going to take this relatively aggressive position in the middle. I'm going to punish this Centurion Action X for pushing up too far and bounce his return shot. I'm happy to sort of wait here for a while. There's no point, pushing my advantage on him. And just wait for this sort of T10 to support me with him. Now I'm not going to fully commit up on this platform, because although we've won the platform, obviously there's really no competition here, they usually have tank destroyers or artillery looking at this position, but I can see that the T10 hasn't got shredded by them, apart from the artillery just hit him, but obviously he's now reloading, so I'm going to push my advantage and just sort of auto aim that Centurion, ram the Action X off of the T10. That's another thing that the E50M does well. It can supplement its damage output by ramming enemies, which really other medium tanks just can't do. I wouldn't recommend ramming a mouse, but definitely against other mediums and especially light tanks or lower tiers you can ram surprisingly effectively. Just going to load some heat rounds for this VKB here since we can't really reliably get through his armour with our APCR rounds, especially at this sort of angle. Missile shot in his turret face, but it's not really anything vital. Next shot we should be able to just plant right in. There you are. That's 183 we have to look out for. He is a competent player, so I doubt he'll just completely YOLO me. But if he were to, he would delete pretty much my entire tank if he's firing heat rounds. Sorry, Hesh rounds. We missed the 183 there, or the VKB's lower plate, I'm not sure which I was aiming for, but we know we beat his reload anyway. So we can just safely stick another one into him before, again, backing up. We want to watch out for that 183. But doesn't seem like he's going to be pushing. But, there's no point in being overly aggressive, and as we can see he's back there and he's backing up, so I can push my advantage again here. Sort of see what they have in the way of defending tanks. Snap a shot into the 183's roof there. And we see a Conqueror back in their base on the minimap if you look there. So we're going to sort of look out for a shot there. Conqueror reveals himself, doesn't hit me, but the VKB does because I overexposed. That was a mistake on my part. I'm going to see if we can find another shot on this Conqueror after we put one into him, but doesn't quite seem like we can. It was a very narrow shot. And I'm going to back up again just in case anyone commits to YOLOing me. We have a T10 for backup here, but I'm really not happy with sort of pushing into this defending force. Maybe we would win it, but I would take a lot of damage doing so. And there's really no point, especially when, as you can see on the minimap, our A1 area was lost to enemy mediums. It's now they're now pushing on our base. So I'm pinging the map, making sure that everyone notices that we do need to get back and defend. Our E75 does, and he's going to be proved to just be a good player later on in the game. Gorilla sort of retreating from that position. The T10 just got shredded. You can see by the health bars that I have on my minimap. He got shredded as he tried to push around that corner. The E5 is there as well. I'm sort of really trying to encourage them not to push that, as you can see in chat. E5 fall back. But well, they do seem to be backing up a bit now, but it might be a bit too late. I'm going to push onto my base. There's really no point being too passive here because we could get capped out. I'll put a heat round into that M46's turret before switching back to our APCR rounds because we really don't need a heat for the M46's soft turret. Put another one into him. Quite surprised he penned me there, but I guess the E50M side isn't that great. It's still an okay 80mm, but not the end of the world taking a shot there. I'm not too worried about this M46 peeking me. He is quite a good player, so I don't expect him to, since if he did, I could very easily sort of snap him back and just take him out the game, even if he does pen me. Not sure if this WZ is looking our way. He's not, so we're just going to snap a shot into him there. And then carry on, trying to get this sort of high ground hold down position. I thought here I was less exposed than I actually was, but it seems that the WZ found a shot into my side or my turret face, but we're going to sort of ignore that. You see that the M46 pushed back, so we're going to sit in the open here, just aim a shot into his lower plate before pulling back behind this corpse. We know that the WZ's gun isn't too accurate at all, so he misses his shot into the T-49's corpse, and I put another one into him before he just backs up entirely. And we're going to go for this M46 who's deciding to peek us, which is quite interesting. But unfortunately for us, we miss our shot on him. He also ricochets his shot. I'm not going to push into that since he does beat my reload. And there's an E75 in the middle, but he gets unspotted. Now the artillery narrowly avoids me. He could have actually deleted me there, which would have been unfortunate, but I've now decided that we need to win a flank. We can't, you know, fight on, what, 2 or 3 sides. Otherwise we'll almost surely lose, so I'm going to push my, you know, I have the health to sort of take a shot from this M46. That could have actually went poorly, because he did hit my track there and spun me out. And the M46 actually has better damage per minute than the E50M does, but fortunately it worked out anyway. I loaded a high explosive round for this 261, doesn't penetrate him, and he almost deletes me from the game again, leaving me on 5 health, as he doesn't die from that falling damage either, so glad artillery can do that at short range, I guess, but I don't know. So we're on 5 health, we're now in this position. It's not that great a position, but we do find the E75 there. We'll put a shot into him. I'm not sure if I'm spotted anymore, but we actually low roll that shot. That's really unfortunate, since we leave him on 18 health above our average shell damage after we low rolled for 20. So I should have been able to kill him in 2 shots there, but that now means that on average we're going to have to put another 2 shots into him instead of just 1, unless someone else can pick him up instead. C75 takes some damage. I'm not sure why he committed to this position with me, but he should fall back out of there, and so am I. As we can see on the minimap, that FE183 has actually started pushing up that 0 line from his last position, which was around the corner. So we're going to try to counter him there before it's too late, and we find ourselves in a disadvantageous location. And the Conqueror as well was last spotted in base, but I imagine he has started moving as well. The M46 Patton was last spotted out of my render range, so I'm not actually sure on his exact health. It says full health, but whether that's the case or not, I'm not sure. And the Stritzfarm 103 hasn't been spotted all game, so again we have no idea sort of which direction to expect him from. Probably the sort of A1 area if anything, but we can't really worry about that. We have to focus on the tanks that we can see, and you can't see those Stritzfarms too well. So we're going to push up to this M40 T49 corpse and then move past it. We notice the 183s here. I'm going to peek him. We, you know, miss our shot into the... Not really sure what I was aiming for there, but, you know, just trying to get a pen. Stick another one into each roof. The 183's gun handling is really poor, so by just minimizing my exposure here, I can sort of more or less guarantee evade his fire. But obviously RNG could screw me there, but you got to take some risks. The Stritzfarm on our team makes a very interesting play here. He he pushes up to this rock, even though he has, you know, siege mode. Doesn't actually have a turret or any sort of gun traverse arc. He has to work in siege mode, and that's terrible on corners, especially against a 183 that could be firing Hesh. And considering the fact that Hesh ricochets at 85 degrees, unlike 70, which AP variants do, that could very well just delete that Stritzfarm from the game entirely. Or if he is firing AP, then it's going to remove over 2/3 of his health either way. I wouldn't recommend that, but what it does do, I guess, is just provide a proxy spot on this 183 so he never gets unlit for me. I know where he is at all times. I have to watch out for this Conqueror. I'm hoping that my minimum minimum exposure will keep me more or less safe. That misses, that's really unfortunate, but the Stritzvan did actually evade a shot there, implying that the Conqueror is somewhere nearby. We should have another easy shot in there. RNG dips into the rock again, that's really unfortunate. The Stritzvan takes a shot from likely the Conqueror, or perhaps the E75 in the middle. We do find a shot into the 183, but a tree just got knocked down, and we actually just bounce a HE round from the Conqueror there. He splashes our turret for 0 damage, which is really lucky for me and really unfortunate for him. It's a really good call on his part to load HE to sort of take me out of the game. That should have worked pretty much every single time, but I guess some of that bad RNG from missing those shots sort of came back to save me. And yeah, that 183 just removes the Stritzvan from the game. I wanted to sort of help him there, but again, that Conqueror could have just HE'd me. There's an E75 in the middle. I can't really push up into this location. I'll try to spot him, but the Stritzvan really isn't happy with me in chat, as you can see. It will prove to continue not being happy in the future, as we'll be able to enjoy. But I can't really see the E75, so we're going to push back around here. Again, frontal engagements against that Conqueror probably won't do too well, but I don't want to leave our E75 stranded. I want to get an angle on this 183, but the E75 is in the middle. He could shut me down. We do spot him, and we snap a heat round in no time to aim in case he gets the first shot. We do high roll for 18, which we needed to before. So that's, again, luck against the less fortunate roll we got earlier on. And this Conqueror is making a beeline for me, as he should. By taking me out of the game, him and the 183 should be able to destroy the E75 pretty easily. E75 recognises this though and pushes the 183 and takes him out of the game. And the Conqueror makes again a beeline for me. I peek up and put a round into him, but then I have to back off because this Conqueror will, without a doubt, just take me out. It's possible that he still has an HE round loaded for me, since he just flat out runs away from this E75, which again, absolute hero. He's using his health advantage, which he clearly sees, to just push on this Conqueror. Conqueror reloads an AP round, or already had one. But this E75 just, maintains just his absolute rush, puts a shot into his ass and sets him on fire as I rush around and secure the kill. Secure the kill here, but not that the E75 probably would have needed that. However, there's now only 2 minutes left on the game, as the timer sort of alerts us of here. And this Stritzvan hasn't been spotted at all this game. He hasn't got any kills, however that doesn't mean that he hasn't done any damage. So what I'm thinking is he's either on the sort of 1-2 line-ish, in which case I'll never find him. That's a complete dice roll if I were to go over there. He could be up on that platform to my left, which I was just looking at. If he's up there, he's going to kill me right now, and probably the E75 as well, and that's just going to be really unfortunate, but I don't have the time to sort of cautiously check up there, as I would really like to do. I have to find him, and then also have the time required to, put out enough damage in the short time to actually be able to remove him from full health. And the E50M, again, doesn't have the greatest damage per minute. So I'm hoping maybe he's either just camping in base or he is completely AFK. So I make my way up here and it looks like he is indeed AFK. That's fortunate for us, I guess, but also kind of unfortunate that he just disconnected straight from the start. We're going to stick another round into him as our E75 snipes him from back there. And eventually just load our last shell to finish him off. Okay, moving on to the post-game stats, we can see we did 8,000 damage in that game. Picked up our top gun with the 6th kill on the AFK Stritzvan. Sent some PMs to the E75 and the Stritzvan as well on my team. I didn't actually recognise in the chat while the game was actually playing that the Stritzvan was flipping out at me. But I thought, him proxy spotting did, relatively well. I thought I might as well send him a message anyway, but probably wouldn't have bothered if I noticed him him flipping out on me, but definitely the E75 I've really got to commend for his absolute work there. His situational awareness, just recognising what sort of advantage he had, just to save me from getting YOLO by that Conqueror, really just helped us secure the win. So GG to that guy. We also got a PM from my friendly 1390, as we can see, did 0 damage, and although he didn't come last on XP, that probably implies that he did a bit of spotting, but really not that much. And he tells us, "Good job, camper, idiot." Oh, sorry, good job, camper. Good job, please make a suicide, idiot. My bad. I'm not sure if that was meant to be a joke or ironic or something, but either way, I found it funny. GG to you as well, 1390. I guess I'm just a camper. But excellent result in the E50M here. Got 1374 base experience from this game, which was also our times 3, so with our premium account, we racked up over 6,000 XP. Just a really solid game overall for the E50M. It just highlights all of its strengths, just how versatile it is, the sort of armor it has. Although it doesn't have the highest damage per minute, it still has just excellent gun handling, excellent base dispersion stats, such as its accuracy at 100 meters and aim time. The mobility as well that you get with the E50M, which you really just don't get with the E50 down at tier 9. Although that is also an excellent tank. I don't know, I really like the E50M. It's just a solid tank all round, and if anyone's interested in picking one up, I would wholeheartedly recommend it. It's not as good a tank killer as, I don't know, the Russian mediums or something. And it's definitely not as good as some of the recently buffed or soon to be buffed in 9.20 tanks, which, such as the 30B, they certainly look absolutely excellent, but I don't know, I find something such as the Russian meds or something like that, I just find them quite boring, to be honest. And the E50M is certainly not that. It's very unique. There's really nothing else like it in the game, apart from the E50, I guess, but those two are certainly in a class of their own, and for that reason, the E50M is probably my favourite tier 10 medium tank. Anyway, that's enough from me. Hope you enjoyed the replay, and I'll see you on the next one.